Welcome to a Noob's Guide to Noob's Guides. This is a Noob's Guide. You can tell because they always begin with a proper intro sequence and someone giving you the fingers. Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. In this video, we'll talk about the lore behind the Noob's Guides, how that translates to gameplay, and then do neither of those things. Instead, here's a bunch of meta-contextual jokes and the secret recipe to creating your own channel with 24 million views that still somehow hasn't reached 100,000 subs. Please sub and help reach that silver button. This wall has been waiting for 4 years for that moment. You can make a Noob's Guide to, well, anything really. There are quarter humor, a quarter lore, and a quarter gameplay. The last quarter is 20 years of failed videos.
Join me now as we go in search of Bristol's forgotten past.
But that's not funny. Instead, you should rely heavily on movie knowledge, the rule of 3, and non sequitur jokes. Some people listen to Noob's Guides like podcasts, so when you're doing the voiceover, make sure to use the best mic you can find. Then load your monotone voice with as much sarcasm as you can muster. Here's a free example. Viewers especially like it when you mess up the EQ or have the music too loud. They'll be super understanding about it. Pair that with footage you record in-game that roughly matches what you're talking about. It doesn't have to be exact, just close enough that it doesn't conflict. If you're really stuck, pan over something super slowly. People will think it's cinematic instead of the YouTube equivalent of holding music. This also works when a Warhammer character has zero lore, and is a good time to introduce viewers to my good friend, non-copyrighted classical music.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Noob's Guides can only use outdated memes. Nobody here is under the age of 35 and we're not hip enough to actually research them. They must also include at least one pornographic joke, an 80s kid nostalgia reference, and a song choice that completely clashes with the tone of the video. Any references should be like a white van with blacked out windows in Miami. You all know what's happening inside, but you don't want to have to stop and explain it to your mom or things could get awkward. The real magic of Noob's Guides is in the writing, but that's just an overweight middle-aged guy trying to hide his bald spot from the camera while typing on a decade-old laptop. You could get a master's degree in England for adapting history to media, become so desperate for work you'll scrub floors, dishes, and human asses, and then spend a decade teaching at an impoverished school just to build character and the writing skills necessary, but I'm not sure it's worth it.
You should come on down to the library. We've got couches for sale. We've got gray couches. They're super comfortable. Some of our couches are even real feather with down.
When you're done writing, have your editor look at every script before you record it. They help remove sections where it gets too real, like that last one, but never acknowledge their contribution, so they can't claim your channel in any divorce proceedings. Also, try and marry a partner with a sense of humor so they don't murder you after a joke like that one. At some point in your career, you may be forced to choose between children and YouTube videos. They can be annoying, attention-seeking prima donnas who are constantly asking for something, but viewers are the backbone of what you do, so try and be patient with them. Kids, meanwhile, are awesome.
Hello there, this is a Noob's Guide to Warhammer 3 characters. This is a Noob's Guide to the Noob's Guide.
Half of the people who click Noob's Guides expect a video that gives exact steps on how to beat a Total War Warhammer campaign. They watch for 30 seconds, assume it's all boring lore and penis references, and then leave. So it's important to include any gameplay tips after that. They don't deserve them. You could insert a brief heads up at the start to warn them what's going on, but after 2 years and a couple hundred complaints, it feels like handing Visigoths the keys to Rome. Which reminds me, it's always important to work in an oblique history reference. Most people won't realize they're learning something in these videos and you can throw it in without them even noticing. Don't be political though, nobody likes that. Because Warhammer characters can be any belief, race, creed, religion, or sexual orientation, so long as it's funny and the jokes are about them and not their lifestyle choices. Except Nazis. Fuck Nazis. But you should try and keep your videos PG-13. Technically that does allow for one F-bomb, but the average viewer of this series is 13, so try and be responsible regardless. Actually, that's a lie. They're 30, but they think like they're 13. It's always funnier to imply someone likes to have sex with pteranodons, though, than just saying it outright, because that would be bestiality, and that's bad, and you should feel sad for joking about it. Except where it concerns furries. Everybody thinks furries are funny. There's no second part to that joke. I couldn't think of one. That's a failed joke. You should get used to those. Occasionally, you'll write a joke that fails so completely, you will be messaged about it every day for the rest of your life. Try not to let it get to you. This may look like depression, but really it's the creative process. Pro tip, by the way, by using reshade presets and the basic principles of cinematography, you can make your videos look twice as good and take 3 times as long to make. But nobody really cares. Your best videos have bad cuts, worse jokes, and crappy Photoshop. You can even switch editors between videos, and most people will never even notice. When it comes to Warhammer, the lore is important. Until it isn't. You'll spend weeks reading backstories on fictional people across multiple editions and revisions, only to discover that the existing lore is more broken and contradictory than CA's spaghetti code.
And that's what started the beef between Eltharion the Blind and Malekith the Bitch King. Hold on, something's not right here.
Eltharion and Grom have beef.
Oh shit, they went with the 5th edition version.
Try and bash the rest of it into a meaningful narrative while remaining true to the character, but know that no one will ever check your sources, and most just assume you're making this stuff up to be funny or just ripped it off of 1D4chan. But no matter how stupid the Lord's backstory is, always pretend that they're the most awesome thing since sliced bread. Nobody likes it when someone rains on their party, so don't be a party pooper. If there's one rule about writing, it's that you'll always think of the perfect joke the moment after you hit publish. But you can write it down so you can always shoehorn it into a future video, or try and preempt it by carrying around a notebook at all times. I prefer mine thick, black, and girthy. When it comes to covering a well-known gaming franchise that you're getting keys for free, don't be a shill. But if you are going to shill, make sure it's for something that nobody else likes.
Try Thrones of Britannia.
I heard Thrones wasn't very good.
Odin, our Father, hear my prayers.
Oh, all right, that was too much. I definitely earned my promotional fee. So this is roasted red pepper, Dawn soap, chocolate syrup, and red food coloring. It tastes terrible and it burns slightly.
My neighbor just came out as I was filming this and has no idea what I'm doing.
I can still taste it.
That last bit wasn't from a Noob's Guide, that's why you haven't seen it. People who watch Noob's Guides only ever watch other Noob's Guides. If it isn't Warhammer with a fart joke, it doesn't stand a chance, so just stick to what works. But keep all your videos around 10 minutes so they stay wanting more. I mean, you could ramble on for half an hour like every other Total War blowhard, but this community already expels enough hot air to float a 747 without your help. Still, the community is what makes these worthwhile. With any luck, you'll gather a dedicated core of friends and patrons who believe in your work and make each one a pleasure to create. I mean, no man is an island, and each video is more collaborative than any creator is willing to admit. And these unsung consultants and heroes aren't thanked enough or profusely enough for their contributions. Because really, I'm not sure what we offer except charm and maybe a half-assed Discord interaction server. And that is really a noob's guide to making noob's guides. Cut the hand of God out of the Bayou Tapestry to slap at the beginning, and you're done. I mean, you could probably skip that last one actually, because I've left it out before and nobody's even noticed. But at the end of the day, these videos are as much about amusing you as it is entertaining others. So stay fun, stay fresh, and always end with a thanks for watching. Roll credits, and thanks for watching.